Yo, what's going on? How's your day? Welcome back to Straight Up TV with your boy Trader Donkey. We look at the market from a straight up perspective, taking it for what it is, statistics and probabilities, going through my morning routine of looking at the market and building a general consensus on direction and price action. So first, what we do is we go and we look at Bitcoin for what it is. We know Bitcoin drives the market. Bitcoin is the driver. Altcoins are the passengers. So to see, it's the same for all types of sectors. You see the leading asset of that sector. For example, gold would be the leading asset of the precious metals sector. So when gold moves, you'll see a lot of things like nickel, silver, etc. They move. So they all wait for the green light from the leading asset of the sector. And in the crypto case, it is the Bitcoin price action that leads all the altcoins. So what we do is first we identify the trend. So we identify it on a long-term scale and then a short-term scale. So here we see Bitcoin in a downtrend. It's been downtrend for months now. We know this, but simple trend lines. Obviously, you know what we think about diagonal trend lines. They can be moved to suit your bias. So diagonal trend lines come second to horizontal support and resistance lines. So we look at this as a downtrend and then followed by price action that is making continuous higher lows, and then that brings us into what we see here, a consolidation pattern. So we've got a downtrend moving into a consolidation pattern. So long term it's still a downtrend, but if you want to get technical, this is technically a bottom consolidation. This does not mean that this is the bottom right now, but this means that we are making a attempt at a bottom because we are consolidating sideways. So we move into ranges. Price action is always in ranges, so we are now in this big range here, a large range that is sectored into multiple smaller ranges. Depends how much you want to zoom in on the magnifier and the time frames, but this is a downtrend, bearish downtrend moving into a neutral consolidation period. So that is that. Then we look at the ranges. We bring up the Blockchain Bulls official Bitcoin range spectrum here. So if you look here at a simple pattern, it is a symmetrical triangle pattern, and you can see that the price gets squeezed. So buying the bottom side of these ranges and selling the top side of these ranges is easy at the start when there's large volatility and bigger moves in price action, but as it gets squeezed, it's moved into the twilight zone where sell zones can become buy zones and buy zones become sell zones, because we get pushed into these areas. So we're backing Bitcoin into a corner here on a pattern form, and what we want to see is we want to see a breakout of the pattern and then confirmation like that. A lot of people buy it like that, and then confirmation here, and then also candle confirmation. And that is the tricky part that members get to learn and understand themselves and not just YouTube. So moving on to the next thing, we got the volatility. So we want to see the volatility. We'll close this. This is considered longer term bearish, staying underneath the moving average and pushing the bottom side of the Bollinger Band. But on a shorter term bullish perspective, up here, the BBWP, we can see that it is in a corrective phase. So it's coming down, and a corrective phase of a downtrend would mean a correction to the upside. Then we look at the stochastic and the RSI. We're just pumping through my daily routine here. So if we see here, we've got a small case of bullish divergence. This is a low, and then a lower low, and then we've got a low and then a higher low here. So that's bullish divergence on the 4 hour, but you'd see it a lot better on the 1 hour actually. If we move in a little bit closer, I'm sure we see a low here, a lower low, and then yeah, you can see that much better here. So that is insinuating that there is a bullish divergence on the RSI, and that is looking to make higher price action there. And as you can see, that's what's happening right now. So we're going to probably get a big bounce here, and then we'll see where that bounce leads us. So this is where we bring in the invalidations and the validations. So I'll take you to the daily and I'll show you this. This is just basically what it is. Like we were talking about bottom consolidation, boing, 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 boing. To get a confirmation of direction and an understanding of direction, we get a candle close. Won't tell you too many secrets there because this is YouTube, but candle close above 45k, 44.5k, you get a candle close higher than these other candle closes, and then a candle close below these other candle closes, preferably around about 36k, and that will just give a massive understanding of direction. So, and in regards to the rest of the market, altcoins pump, altcoins dump. Simple as that. A few other things that I use in my daily routine, like the fear and greed index, funding rate, and the global open interest. We won't look at them today because this is already taking up a lot of time. But one thing that I do want to show you really quickly is the fact that privacy coins are pumping, and that is a complete and utter reflection of the current times that we are in right now. So privacy coins are pumping. If you want to try and run that pump, this is one of those sorts of categorical pumps that could have a longer lasting effect, because it is to do with the current global situation, and things on the current global situation are only escalating, and you can see here that things are happening. This is XMR, it's a privacy coin. This is the category that I'm talking about. That is a lower low on the price action, and then that is a higher low. That is bullish divergence. You got the stochastic pointing up on a daily, that's bullish, and then you've also got volatility reaching maximums. So if you wanted to jump onto something like a privacy coin, you just at least wait for a retest and an entry point. Something like minimum buy zone would be in this area here if you're extremely keen. So between 170, 180 and 190, that would be a minimum buy zone. And if you have patience and you're not too fussed about getting in or not, but you still consider entering, then you would look at something like this, would be the trend line, and then you'd look for a retest of the current trend line, and then a breakout with candle confirmation. So hope that helped. Peace and love. Keep an open eye on these privacy coins, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.